Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Gaming with Vindicator, where we are here at the shores of the Mikelsfjord Bay, and it's a very big day. This is, as I'm recording, October 23rd, and you know what that means. Tomorrow is City Skylines 2 Day. It's the end of an era, my friends. 8 years of City Skylines 1, and of course you'll be watching this, after the release date because I take forever to edit things. But I wanted to say hello, and I wanted to say I've had such a wonderful time in this journey with you. You can see that over the last, I don't know how many years it's been that we've been recording videos, but 30 episodes, we've created quite the little community here. And if you've been with me from the beginning, you know that I didn't actually start recording from the first build. I kind of was just building on my own, and then decided, after watching, literally hundreds of hours of other creators, why don't I do my own series? And so I started recording this halfway through while I had already Torrens Square over here. I had the farmland, I had Fjallesen and Reinskard, and gosh, I'm even forgetting some of the names here, but I had the industrial area, and we even had some of these communities up the river here, at least the little farmland we did. And I believe my first episode was turning this little sleepy farmland into this industrial juggernaut, that's how I built it. And we added all these processing facilities and the capacity on this side. We added the rails. I spent several episodes fixing the rails, which, as you can see, not fixed still. Gotta leave it though at some point. And I've had such an amazing time with this. We spent a whole bunch of episodes over here, doing some work on the island of Hammelvik, several episodes there. And last episode, we did our new fishing industry. And I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Now, I promised something, and I intend to keep that promise. That was to build a shipyard. I had 3.5 hours of recording time last episode, which somehow magically I cut it down to 45 minutes. But I was just out of steam for doing the shipyard. Today, we're doing that shipyard over here. And we're going to add a whole bunch of warehouses and railway capacity and an actual running shipyard, plus a cargo port, because I think we're asking a lot of this rail line here. We're asking the rail to pull all of the goods out of this area and send it down the track to the port over here in Schengen and the airport over here as well. So we're going to put another cargo port over here. And you know what? I'm not sure if this is going to be the last episode of Mikelsfjord. Probably. I have taken tomorrow off, of course, as any good City Skylines nerd would do, to play the game. And I'm planning to get up at 5 and get into it. It's currently downloading now through Steam. And I'm really excited about City Skylines 2, but my heart's kind of breaking because I absolutely have fallen in love with Mikelsfjord. And I don't know, we'll see. Maybe there'll be a wrap-up episode. Maybe I'll keep building it. We'll see how it goes. But enough chirping from me, enough waxing philosophical. It has been a wonderful time with all of you, and I really appreciate the time you've spent with me. So let's get to building this shipyard. And I thought, you know what, we're gonna change the lighting a little bit and start earlier in the day, but I think I want it a bit brighter after all. So we'll put ourselves up to a little later in the morning, get some brighter light. And okay, here's the plan today. This is going to be a separate shipyard. So we're putting in tolls to keep people in and out. We're putting in warehouses. We're putting in a new quay wall. You know what? I don't think there's much more point in talking about it. Let's just start doing it, and you'll see how it turns out. Enjoy the build. Okay, so we've got some of our warehouse infrastructure in. This is going to be handy because the shipyard that is one of the special factories requires 4 different resources. I'm going to try to remember what those are. So I know, let's set these all to fill. And I know one of these is plain timber. I know there's also a, what do we have? Metals, plastics for sure, there's plastics. And we have, we'll fill this up again. And we have metals, and was it glass? I think there's a last one that's glass. So we'll put glass in here and we'll make this fish, because this is actually on the other side. This is not actually inside well, it's on the road that's attached to the other side, outside of the toll booth. So it's not technically in the shipyard area, so we're not gonna ask it to store materials. All right, and we put our rail infrastructure in. Some of this will be decorative, some of this will be very functional. And so I'm gonna continue this out, and we're gonna need a little bit more space here. So might do a little bit of terraforming while we're at it and let that flood. So we got some pooling here. I wonder if maybe our ground is too low. Let's raise that up. Okay, so I had to demolish a few roads and rails in order to get the ground leveled off. I probably should have thought about that before I started building here, but that water will dry out and we'll be fine. So what I've done here is I've put in a few mainly decorative buildings. So here we have our coal, or rather our ore storage, which is from the Industries DLC for ore, and it actually looks like coal when it's full. So we're gonna put it to fill, and we put it next to this coal power plant. And I could see this being attached to a shipyard that needs a lot of power. You know, and perhaps this is actually some kind of cogeneration station for the entire area, the industry area. There's a lot of power being used here, so I'm sure there'll be generating power. It's likely. So maybe this is a private power station that's selling power to some of the neighboring businesses. And let's get some of the rails back and see what else we're doing on the other side here. I like those buildings in that configuration just a little bit better, the taller one closer to the middle here. So this is a lot of the office buildings, and they need some parking, don't they? There she is, our shipyard, which is producing luxury cruise ships, which is awesome. I absolutely love this asset. I've been waiting to use it for a long time. We're still a mess over here, so we got to fix that up a little bit, but it's gonna come together. Here we go. All right, I finally got that to work and play nice together, but I'm embarrassed to tell you how long that took, so I'm just gonna edit it out. Wow, this game doesn't make sense sometimes, and that's okay. That's why we loved it, isn't it? All right, what's next? Let's get our shipyard in here. Awesome. So you can see the shoreline is taking shape. We've got a lot of warehouses for these resources that is needed by the shipyard. And I don't know why we don't have any plastics yet. This timber, plastics, yeah, we're 70% full. So someone explain that one to me. Why don't we have this filling up? I don't know. Never will figure that one out. But we're not done. Let's get our cargo port in here. Aha, so I messed with it for long enough that it actually worked. And now I can put some land back underneath this harbor. I gotta say, I don't know if I've ever loved how this was designed. I don't know that the rail needs to be right at the water. It kind of necessitates that we then do things like this, pull the land back out underneath it once we placed it. But it is what it is, so we're not gonna complain. We're just gonna play the game and enjoy our lives. Okay. Massive flooding? Whatever are you talking about? This is totally normal. Nothing to see here. What can we do while everything's flooding? Let's hit some resources here. And we want these to export. Definitely don't want some goods sitting on the dock. And again, setting these oil tanks to empty as well, because that's just for show. We're not actually needing to keep any oil here. It just kind of looks cool. We're definitely hurting for some police and fire coverage there. This seems like the perfect spot for an industrial area station, both, and we've got a lot of dredging to do here. Let's fix this harbor here. We don't have any ships running aground. Wow, that's pretty bad. How did that get like that? Who did that? That's dipping way down. That will not do. I think we might have to just raise up some terrain a little bit, touch more here. This stuff is really touchy. Key walls. Whew, how do we do? Well, I think once the water settles, that's going to be fine. But, you know, if I was the City Skylines 2 developers and everyone was complaining about key walls all the time, I probably would have just taken them right out too. So, can't blame them. You know what? I'm wondering if this maybe is not enough of a protected harbor for the shipyard. Let's just extend this jetty out a little bit and see how that looks. Now, I don't think my eyes are deceiving me, but I believe this side is dipping down, so ever the perfectionist, here we go. Better. All right, now let's clean it up. Yeah, okay. That's pretty clean. Let's stick a wharf in here for good measure. Let some other boats dock. And that needs a road, so unfortunately you can't stay. And let's do something about the ugly end of this dirty little pier. Let's check this at night. I want to see how it looks in the nighttime and make sure that we have enough lighting. Okay, so obviously our rail yard is lit up. We took care of that last episode. The actual shipyard itself, not terrible, not terrible. Some dark spots here and there, but the port certainly is very well lit. That's good. I think we might actually need just a little bit more light, especially on these jetties. Yes, there are street lights, but I could see ships kind of making a little oopsie when they don't know that that's there. So, and I wonder about these islands too. You know, I don't have lighthouses in the vanilla game, of course, but I do have something that sort of approximates a lighthouse that I used last episode. Let's find it. All right, let's put this lighthouse in air quotes in here. Is that a little cheesy? I mean, you know, we're really stretching our imaginations a little bit with the stadium lights as lighthouses, but hey, safety first. And speaking of safety, this boat should not be in the way of these massive cargo ships, so let's give him a little bit of a different pathway. That should do it. Let's go back to daytime and see what's next. I love seeing all the trains come in here. This one, for example, totally full. He's gone from Fisheries 2, which is one of our new cargo rail yards from the Airports DLC, to this cargo hub. And again, love to name these, so we'll call this Fisheries Port, just so that we can see where they're going to and from. 100% full, I love that. He's got to be exporting fish or goods or some combination of those two. I love that, you know, I was smart enough to put this at the end here. That way we're actually going to see trains coming down this line and actually using it. So obviously, you know, these couple tracks are just for show, but hey, you know, this is part of playing the game. One movement that's missing, however, is we don't have trains from this station able to get out into this port. So rather than eliminate that or omit that, let's put it in. There we go. Those tracks look like they are actually functioning. It should be connected. And what is next? Let me check my list. So I'm double checking our health availability. I'm not seeing that we have really anything over here. Now, we don't need it, right? It's not necessary that we have clinic over here because there aren't any people living over here. However, I wonder if it just would make sense. I don't know. Does it make sense? Probably not. We'll just leave it. What else do we want to get in here? We have our post, we have our police and fire. Trees, detailing, yes, definitely need that. We've got our night light. I wonder, do we have any spaces available for some zoning? Yeah, I think we do, and I wouldn't mind leaving just a little bit of industrial in here. Now we have no demand, of course, and you know I don't see that changing anytime soon. But I still would like to put some in, and I might be able to use a little tweak to get that to actually zone in. So we're gonna start by painting a district. Aspen Square ain't bad, but you know, for a Nordic build, I think we can do a little bit better. Let's give this a name that's Nordic and befits the Mikelsfjord legacy. And we're gonna switch the default style to Industrial Evolution. I actually haven't used that anywhere in this build. I would like to get in just even a few buildings, right? And then just see how they look. And we're better than right by the water over here. I don't want to come too close, so we'll use our marquee. And we'll even stick a little bit of commercial in here to give people a place to eat and whatnot. And I think that's good for zoning. I'm going to come in here and add one more policy. And we'll go to taxation. We want tax relief for... Oh, interesting. I was planning to lower the taxes for industrial, but that doesn't exist, does it? Wasn't it interesting? So it doesn't appear that there is a policy for lowering the taxes of industrial in a certain district. I was hoping I would to get just a little bit more demand that would fill in these zones here. I wonder, let's look at our budget for a moment. And let's see how much money we're making from our industrial. So you can see here, only 2% of our income comes from industrial and office. And my guess is that we have a lot more office than industrial. I'm thinking it would not be against our best interest to lower the tax rate for industrial just by 1%. And we'll keep an eye on what that does to our budget. I don't think we're in any danger position, but I'm hoping that even that 1% might raise the demand for industrial just a little bit. And I wonder if anything in our statistics menu will tell us more information. Let's check. So looking at available jobs, you know, that's not helpful because that's the total number of jobs that are actually filled as well. Employment percentage, our unemployment rate is less than 3%, which is very low. So that's not going to help us with our demand for industrial. Industrial zones, that's what's going to tell us. Nothing much here. Not sure why that's a statistic, and I don't see anything else that really is helpful. But okay, so I guess you know what we might have to admit failure on that one, in that we're a little bit powerless to adjust the demand for industrial. The only solution really that I know, satisfy this residential demand, right? So we'll leave it alone. Last but not least, let's do some zoning, and I think we'll start with some fencing. You know, it definitely adds something. Having these trees in here certainly makes it look a little nicer. And I wonder if we can get in a few more. Cool, definitely adding something. And you'll notice we got a lot of screaming going on. Garbage, not enough materials. This will work itself out, and I'm so confident in that I'm gonna just boost this to 150. Metals, are you kidding me? We have this with metals. We have a few with metals, don't we? So I'm not sure what it's crying for. There we go. It's gone. Just had to whip them up to 150% production, and there we are. All right, what else? This is looking a little lackluster. Let's get something else in here. And while I was playing with those policies before, I noticed that I'm missing one, and I definitely want to adjust that and add something. So I'm going to put an absolutely new zone in here, not that big. And that was something I neglected to do last episode. And we're going to come into policies, and we're going to go back to what I saw earlier, which was sustainable fishing. Decrease fish shields by 10%, okay. Increase fishing harbor upkeep by 15, but increase citizen happiness by 15% in commercial income from goods. Okay, so there's a benefit to that, and you know what, we're producing a whole ton of fish, so that's fine. Dolphin safe fishing, do we want this? Decrease fish shield by 25%, ooh, that's huge. But increase citizen happiness by 20%. Now, I'm curious, is this citizen happiness in the whole city? Or is this citizen happiness in the policy area? Because if it's in the policy area, well, that's useless. So, you know what? In order to actually ensure that it is applied citywide, we're going to come out of the district. And before I do, I just want to give it a name. And we're going to make sure we're on city policies. We'll go back down and we'll do this globally. Yeah, perfect. What's left? I suppose the only thing that's left to do is to say goodbye. Not to be too dramatic, but let's have a look at our work. So this is absolutely brand new, and I think I love it. I love how there's functioning trains running through this industrial area. We've got a coal power plant area. We've got, you know, this is sawdust storage, but hey, let's call it something else. Let's say it's for the shipyard. We've got this long warehouse that's actually functioning. We have a shipyard that, hey, look at that. And oh, this is interesting. So I have noticed this before. The water does come into the sort of the basin here, but you know what? Not gonna worry about it. Not a priority. We've put in some administrative buildings, which come from the Modern Japan pack, which really look still cool all this time later. Massive warehouses. I love the way that they fill up with the designated resource. So that's plain timber, obviously. And it integrates perfectly into this fishing area that we built last episode. I just love it. You know what? This was one episode, well, a pair of episodes that I just couldn't let go. I certainly have other ideas for Mikelsfjord. One day, maybe we'll come across the bay here, and we'll do something with this very skin and bones industrial area. I'm seeing all kinds of factories, you know, really highly detailed factories that are functioning as well. So who knows? Maybe one day we'll see how I love or loathe City Skylines 2. I expect it's going to be a blast, and I'll probably forget all about Mikelsfjord. But wow, it has been a wonderful journey. I've had an absolutely amazing time playing this game and doing that for the better part of 3 years now, and doing it with you. You watching me has meant the world to me, and you know, I do read all the comments, and I try to respond back, and I love that, you know, I can see how many people have watched my episodes, and you know, for how long. I look at all the stats, and I appreciate it. I love that you're along for the journey with me. So I can't wait to see you in City Skylines 2. I'm really excited. I'm waking up early tomorrow morning to get into it. You will see this video probably after my first CS2 video comes out, because hey, that's just a priority if you want to grow your channel, right? So this video will come out when it comes out. I really love that you watch this with me. Stay tuned for a quick city tour. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great day, and please hit the like button and subscribe so you can learn about new videos coming out. Have a good night.